Good morning, everyone. So, today we are going to start a new chapter, that is the civics chapter number 10, and the name of the chapter is Law and Social Justice. So, in this chapter, we will discuss about the laws which are implemented for the social justice. So, in the last year, I mean in class 7, we studied about a chapter which name is A Shirt in the Market. So, in this chapter, we learned that there are various people who are involved to make a shirt and produce in the market. Farmers, sellers, producers, various types of workers, and raw materials are required to produce a shirt in the market. So, this is the chain of market. Without chain, not a single kind of product can be produced. So, for all the sectors, we need some laws, otherwise, various types of injustice will happen, such as the company owner collect various types of workers, and if he don't give their salary or if he force them to do overtime work, then it will be injustice. So the government of India has decided to make some laws which are equal for all. And as we know that in the Indian constitution, all are equals in the eyes of law. So on the basis of this, our government has taken such decision which make equal and which make justice for all the people. So I am precisely discussing this chapter. Now I have discussed all above, and in the second paragraph, as with the law on minimum wages, which is meant protect workers, there are also laws that protect the interest of producers and consumers in the market. This help ensure that the relation between these three parties, the worker, consumer, and producer, these law make a good relation between the worker, consumer, and producer. Such laws are implemented by the government of India for all the citizens of India. Now you can see there is one table which is minimum wages law. Minimum wages act specifies that wages should not be below a specified minimum. Now, what is necessary? Many workers are denied fair wages by their employers because they badly need work. Workers have to bargaining power and are paid low wages. Whose interest does the law protect? This law is meant to protect the interest of all the workers, particularly farm laborers, construction workers, factory workers, domestic workers, etc. Now, what I discussed that one producer will manage various types of workers in the market for producing any kind of product, and always one owner wants that he should complete his work with a minimum money, with a minimum cost. So if everyone think like this, then worker will never get the sufficient fair salary or fair of their work. So that's why Indian government has decided that they should create some laws for the laborers, workers, producers, for everyone, and these laws will help for every sector of people. If you read this column, then you can understand a little. Now here The important matter is given there.
According to 2011 census, over 4 million children in India aged between 5 to 14 work in various occupations. Can you imagine? 4 million, over 4 million children were involved in India in various types of work. So, Parliament in 2016, Act 1986, beginning the employ of children below the age of 14 in all occupation and the adolescents 14 to 18 years in hazardous occupations are processes. It makes employ these children or adolescents an cognizable offense. Anyone found violating the ban must be penalized. So Indian government has created one act which is, if anyone involve 45 to 14 years worker in any kind of work, then he will be punished. And 15 to 18, if anyone involve a worker, I mean a children or an adolescent in hazardous, means very hard working, just like iron making, iron rods, making glasses. These things are very very dangerous, and it always risk of life. So this type of work, if anyone involved 15 to 18 years adolescents, then also he will be punished. So that's why India has banned the child labor, because it's help his it will destroy his future. At the age of 25 to 30, he will be very weak, he will face various kinds of diseases. That's why Indian government has demolished the child labor. Now, one important thing which will help in your further study also, Bhopal gas tragedy. Remember this keyword, Bhopal gas tragedy. The worst industrial tragedy took place in Bhopal 24 years ago. Union Carbide UC, an American company, had a factory in the city which is produced pesticides. Pesticides means char, or just like this, something like this. I hope you understand the char, which is used for cultivation. At midnight 2 December 1984, MIC was got blast leaked, and all the nearby villages were covered by the white kind of snow, which was difficult for the taking breath. And also the eyes was just like when we fry chilies, and at that time we feel some kind of problems in our breathing and in our eyes also. Such kind of problem happened with all the village people. Within 3 to 4 days, 8,000 people were died. Can you imagine, in 3 4 village, 8,000, if the 8,000 people were died, then what would happen with that villages? So it was a dangerous tragedy happened by a factory. Because of their it is not an accident, but it was a negligence, nothing else. Within 3 days, you can see there, within 3 days, more than 8,000 people were dead, hundreds of thousands were maimed. You can see the photos of there is not a single person is buried. Hundred of people are buried together, thousands of people are buried together, because all the people were dying. Then how can it should be arranged by single person? They have to arrange all together and buried all the people. The next page. So the disaster was not an accident. UC had deliberately ignored the essential safety measures. UC was a company of American company which ignored the essential safety measures. In order to cut cost, much before the Bhopal disaster, there had been incidents of gas leaking, killing a worker, and injuring several. But they had not take the safety and they had not repair it. That's why these types of incident occurs and 8,000 people were died, though it was calculated by the government that 8,000, but if you read another books, then you will find more than 10,000 people were died. Those who alive, they were very dangerously suffered by these type of gases throughout their life. Despite the overwhelming evidence pointing the UC and responsible for the disaster is refused to accept responsibility. In the ensuing legal battle, the government represented the victim in a civil case against UC and filed a 3 billion compensation case in a 1985, but accepted a law 470 million in 1989. Survivor appealed against the settlement, but Supreme Court ruled that the settlement amount would stand. So you can see they are discussing with the biggest relief minister and for their justice. So these things are laws which are created for the business purposes also, which is created for the all sectors of people, because we the people of India living in India in a democratic country, so everyone has the equal right to live. There no one can there no one can pressure us, there no one can force us for anything. We can do whatever we want. We can raise our voice for anyone, even for the government, even for the people, even for our owner, even for anything. So these things are discussed in this chapter, and the rest of the chapter I will discuss in the next class. Now your homework is you have to write you have to write within 100 words a small note about the Bhopal gas tragedy. Remember, your homework is you have to write within 100 words Bhopal gas tragedy notes. From this chapter you can collect, and from Google also, if you are able to collect from the if you search Bhopal gas tragedy, you will find lots of information. So you have to write it and submit it to the group or else to my WhatsApp number. This is your homework. Without homework I shall not calculate your attendance. Today you just see those who will give the homework. I will calculate their attendance. Otherwise I shall not. If you say just your roll number and name, it is not enough for the attendance. You have to do your homework. Thank you.